hadith is fabricated. Okay, what is the true story? Let us, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as a true story why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam got married to Zainab bin Jahsh. Firstly, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's the one who married off Zainab bint Jahsh to Zayd, because Zayd was a free servant, because he was under servitude. Then he became free. So when Zayd ibn Haritha wants to marry her, she rejected. Now, brother, we know that man wants to marry a virgin more than non-virgin. You're more interested in a virgin, okay? If Prophet wants to marry Zainab, why is going to tell Zayd ibn Haritha, marry her, then he will marry her after him? He would marry her straight away. Rather, Prophet marry him, okay? Now they got married, husband and wife, and everything, okay? Now, Zainab bin Jahsh, the marriage was not working. The marriage was not working. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to his prophet that Zainab bin Jahsh and Zayd ibn Haritha, they're going to get divorced. And when she will finish her time, the period time, you will marry her. So Allah informed him. Yeah? That was very heavy on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why it was very heavy? Because the Arabs from their culture, you're not allowed to marry the daughter of someone that you adopt. Okay? You're not allowed to marry her. That's from their culture. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to show this culture has nothing to do with God. The law that we should follow is God's law, not the culture. If a culture opposes God's law, we don't follow it. If the culture doesn't oppose God's law, then we follow it. You with me so far? Now, Prophet was heavy on him because the Arab pagans, they used to look for any excuse just to invalidate his prophethood and speak ill of him. That's why when Zayd ibn Haritha came to complain to him that I'm having a problem, he's like, be patient with her. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed verse why you are hiding what Allah has told you. Okay? And this verse, as a side point, give us clear proof Prophet Muhammad is a true prophet and did not hide nothing from the revelation. That he said it to her. Okay, he said it to Zayd ibn Haritha. Then Allah revealed the verse that they will get divorced. So they got divorced. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when they finished, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala married off Zainab bin Jahsh to Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. Because in Islam, Zayd ibn Haritha is not a son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam at all. That's the truth.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah, no problem. You can, of course. That's what we're here for.
Now, you said the Prophet was the one who married Zayd to...
He's the one who encouraged Zainab bin Jahsh to marry to Zayd ibn Haritha. Yeah.
Okay. And at that time, he was an adopted son, not a biological son, but an adopted.
Yes, adopted son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, my question to you is, let's say me and you, we are friends.
Okay.
We are good friends.
Okay.
We live in the same house or the same area. We go to school together and everything.
Yeah.
And you have a girlfriend or a wife.
Yeah.
And you divorce your wife.
Okay.
And you see me, your friend, go and marry your wife. How would you feel?
Marry my wife?
Yeah. You divorce your wife. Me and you are
Yeah,
friends.
Islamically halal, this one. It's not about how I feel.
No. Let's put Islam and everything to the
Yeah,
side.
but
Me and you are friends.
yeah,
And I'm married.
yeah,
And I divorce my wife.
yeah.
Then I find you marrying my wife. And we are friends.
So what's the problem with that?
What do you mean?
No, but he's not having intercourse with her. You divorced her, has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
You have nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
Now, I'm your friend, but you cannot control my feeling or who I'm going to get married to. Your feeling is not a criteria for me to dictate to me who should marry or not.
Now, what
If
I'm
I'm,
saying, based on our friendship.
yeah, no, but if I love the woman, I think, okay, this is a good woman, maybe you had a problem with her, but if I'm not marry her, marry her. Now it's not about feeling as well, it's about what God legislates, understand? Because if every person, because remember, they lived in a small village. That's why the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was rare to find a woman without a husband. They used to die in the war, or they used to get divorced. So if every man thought, I'm not going to get married to this woman because I know the guy who is married to her, he's my neighbor, then how many women will be left out without their husbands?
But this is a guy. And,
You see my-
I'm reasoning with you.
Yeah, no
But
problem.
what I'm saying is,
But that's what my point is.
because you are my adopted father, I see you as a father.
Yeah, but Islam invalidated that. There's no adopted father.
But the validation came, the prophecy came after, because of that situation.
Yeah, because Allah told him,
Yeah,
and Prophet ﷺ didn't want it. because Rasulullah, he said, like, is Adam my son? Allah said, no, he's not. He's not from Islam's Adam's son. And we have to understand, if Rasulullah was interested in any woman, when the Arab pagans came to him, they said to him, look, oh Muhammad, stop calling what you're calling because you're causing splitting amongst us. If you want to marry the best woman, we'll get you the best woman. If he was interested in women, we would have said, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. He said, no. He said, okay, we'll make you the most richest person amongst us. No. Okay, we'll put you to the leader. You are the leader of us. No. Okay, we will not make any decision except we have to refer back to you. So what my point here is, that shows you Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, his main target is not about women. If he was interested in women, he would marry any woman. Rather, they offered him the best woman. Understand? So here, it's just Allah wants to establish some legislations through his prophet. You understand? To invalidate some of the Arab pagans' teaching that if you take care of a son and he gets married to a woman, then you divorce her, you're not allowed to marry her. That's not from Islam, has nothing to do with Islam. So Allah wants to show has nothing to do with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because again, brother, for example, in our community, okay, sometimes maybe the brother get divorced to a sister, to his wife. Sister, she wants to marry someone from the community. If every brother says, you know, I can't marry her because from the community, how many sisters will be left out?
A lot.
You see what I'm saying?
understand your point.
So Alhamdulillah,
So it's not immoral then?
so rather,
I'm listening to him.
yeah, he's taking, he's taking.
Tell me it's
So
immoral.
it can be, of course.
Yeah, I said that before.
Yeah, but even what is moral, what is immoral, what is the criteria we are using to say what is moral, what is immoral?
Yeah, you are
Our
explaining
feeling
it
is
to
not.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no problem.
it's good to
Thank you for showing me respect. You know, because that's what I like. That's why I come here for people like you who have show respect. So my point here is that there'll be many women left out without a husband, and let alone back in those days living in a small village, you know, in the middle of nowhere, you know. So yeah, so Allah legislated it, and Zainab was okay with it. Rasul was okay with it. Even the Arab pagans after accepted it,
All right.
and they stopped that teaching.
I'm very happy that you took the time to really
No
explain it to
problem at
me. Like I was telling my brother that initially I didn't want to talk to you.
Because I'm actually strong people.
I thought that you were too, but sometimes you don't have to judge a book by the
That's
cover.
cover. That's correct.
Speaking to you one-on-one like this,
Yeah.
I think I haven't taken I've taken what you said.
Yeah,
on
you're gonna
board.
think about it.
I'm gonna think about it.
No problem.
And at least from there on, who knows what can happen.
Yeah, never
but
know.
I'm glad you
But
did.
can I ask you something?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
So you believe Jesus to be God?
Yeah, I do. We've been on it for a long time.
So what do you think about the argument that we as Muslims always we use, which is okay? You got something here?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You went to your I think you like the dark colors. Look, you want to. So the point here is that we as a Muslims, the reason we don't believe Jesus to be God, for example, from a textual proof, from the Quranic proof, okay? The Quran tells us that Jesus used to eat food. What does that mean? Okay, means that's not the nature of the self-sufficient God, because God is self-sufficient. God is everything is in need of God. God is not in need of nothing. Okay. Likewise, that we know God knows everything all the times. You know, as a Christian Muslims, we believe God is perfect all the times. He has no beginning, no end. He has absolute perfection. Okay. So now when you come to Jesus, He doesn't know the hour. Okay. Likewise, God doesn't have God. When you come to Jesus, Jesus said, "The Father is my God." Also, according to Jesus, the only true God is the Father. So what do you think about these arguments? Like, clearly show us Jesus cannot be God.
Okay.
If you want to go step by step.
From what I understand from the Christian perspective,
Yeah.
Jesus is 100% man and 100% God.
Okay.
I will say this before I go forward.
Sorry,
You
when I
as
say
a-
okay, I'm not agreeing with it, yeah?
Yeah, he's just saying okay, like.
Now we have to be on point. I have to emphasize on everything I'm going to say. Yeah.
No,
I'm not agree with it.
No.
Yeah.
I understand. What I'm saying is, you as a Muslim, the core of your belief, you've learned it and you've been taught it, so you know it. So if I have a problem with, like you did right now with me with the marriage of
Zainab and Jahsh.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you know how you've been taught, so you will explain it from me from the Islamic
Perspective. Okay.
Okay. As a Christian, I've also been taught certain facts based on the Christian perspective.
Okay.
So I have to tell you from my perspective.
That's correct.
Then we can
Reasons.
see, reasons
Reasons.
where
Yeah.
we
see. Okay.
we to
what
come
we
in.
say.
So from
Sorry.
the Christian perspective,
Yeah.
we believe that Jesus Christ was fully man and fully God.
Okay.
So at some time in his life, his fully manhood comes in.
Okay.
Like you don't know what is happening across the road.
That's
because
correct.
You're standing here as
Yeah.
a man.
As a man,
you
yes,
wouldn't
correct.
know. So Jesus lacked certain things because he has a manly personality.
Okay.
He's God and man at the same time. So sometimes
Sorry, he's God and the man same time.
at the same time, he's 100% man and
100%.
100% God. But well, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
The Quran said Jesus Christ knew what you think, what you are thinking in your head. Is it right or wrong? Maybe I'm
No,
wrong.
the Quran says he knew what you hide, if the
What
food that you hide.
Yes.
Yeah.
What you are hiding.
Yeah.
Let's be logically for 1 second.
Yeah.
If somebody can know what you are hiding, if somebody can know what you are hiding,
Alaikum salam like that.
okay, if somebody can know what you are hiding,
Yeah.
do you mean to tell me that he wouldn't know if a fig tree had a thing or not? It doesn't. It doesn't go.
Can I come in?
Yeah, come in, please.
So the point here is before we go to the Quran, because the Quran clearly said that was a miracles given to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the miracles that he knew the food that were hiding. One of the miracles he used to make birds from clay and blow into it. By the permission of Allah, becomes alive. Okay. From the miracles he used to heal we call them lepers. Yeah, the leper. Okay. That's the miracles. Clearly, it's a miracle. Okay. So that doesn't mean he has to know everything. But one thing that we have to know, look, that is true what you're saying, that sometimes when we speak about God, I'm coming from the Islamic perspective, likewise Christian or Jewish. But we have to agree that God will give us the faculties to determine what is the truth. Otherwise, every person says, you know what, I don't believe Christianity is the truth because I'm a Muslim. You know, this argument is not is a circular reasoning, you know. So God gave us the faculties to determine what is right, what is wrong. In order when the revelation comes to us, we have to use these faculties. What are they? Our sound reasoning. What is sound reasoning? Sound reasoning, for example, I know contradictions doesn't exist in the real life. For example, what I mean by that? Okay, this bottle, which or me existing, you cannot say Shamsi is existing and not existing at the same time. That's a contradiction. You understand? There's a paradox. Okay. Likewise, you cannot. If you say God is God, automatically you are negating he's not he's not a human. If you say human being is not God, you see what I'm saying? Because by definition, God is uncreated. By definition, God is not a human being. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
By definition. By definition, human being, they make mistakes, they forget, and so on. Okay? They go to toilet, they are in need of food, they are in need of oxygen, and so on.
Okay, so brother, let me ask you.
Before I just want to.
Yeah.
So now when we come in here, okay, now you said to me that the Christians, I know what the Christian believe. They believe Jesus was 100% God, 100% human. But the question we ask ourselves, Jesus as God, focus with me, yeah? Jesus as God, is he the Father or other than the Father?
From the Christian
Christian belief,
perspective,
yeah.
Christian belief, God is one.
Okay,
That's from the Christian belief.
yes.
The concept of God is the same as yours.
Okay,
God is one, but in that oneness of God, you know that what I'm
Yeah,
going to say.
yeah.
There are three distinctive personalities, and Jesus Christ was one of them. But what I wanted to know is, you and I, as believers, believe that God doesn't share His glory with anyone.
but before we go to that, sorry, I have respect.
Yeah,
Before,
yeah. I wanted
before,
to ask you a question.
We can ask that. But before, Jesus, is he the Father or other than the Father?
Jesus, from the Christian belief,
As
Jesus
God.
is not the Father.
It's not, because I know that. Jesus as God is not the Father. Okay? So you said to me Jesus had two nature. God nature and a man nature. Okay? Jesus said, no one knows the day and the hour, not even the angels in the heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. He's negating knowledge from himself from both sides. He never said only the Father and me as God. He said only the Father. So he negates knowledge from himself as a whole, from the Holy Spirit, and he affirms only to the Father. And what is very interesting here, sorry, what's your name?
Frank.
Frank, sorry to forget your name, Frank, yeah? What is very interesting here, Frank, yeah? That the same statement that Jesus said. Of course, Prophet Allah never mentioned the Father, but a very similar statement is in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ السَّاعَةِ أَيَّانَ مُرْسَاهَا. They will ask you, O Muhammad, about the hour, when it will be revealed, when the hour will be established. The meaning of the verse, say no one knows except Allah. So Prophet Muhammad alayhi and Prophet Jesus alayhi
the same thing.
same thing. So my point here is also when Jesus said, the only true God, he said, is the Father. So now, according to Jesus, Jesus had two nature. According to your statement, Jesus had two nature, man nature and a God nature. His God nature is not the Father, but Jesus is the one who you believe said the only true God is the Father, which is not him.
Yes. Yeah, okay. From the Christian perspective, what we have made to understand from what you are saying is, because Jesus had two natures, sometimes he relinquished one over the other, depending. You and I know that God doesn't eat.
That's correct.
God doesn't sleep.
That's correct.
But Jesus slept.
Yes.
So in that aspect, he's using his human nature as you and I, we sleep. So he was negating his human side and that attribute to sleep.
Okay.
So we say yes, even though he's still God, he can still sleep because he's also man. So those two natures, the way we are taught, goes hand in hand sometimes. Sometimes he acts because only God can resurrect. Only God can create.
No. Only God can create, because there's sort of creating. There's sort of creating here. There's creating when you form something, and it's creating when you create something from nothing.
Yeah.
So-
I'm talking creating like life, giving life.
No, giving life, Abraham did it. Gave a life to the birds in the Quran. Even in the Bible, what's his name? What's his name? Even the
one
son
of
of
the
Jesus.
prophets,
Yeah, one prophet Jesus. Yeah. So giving life is not, doesn't mean you're God.
But
Yeah.
but you see, that's why I'm saying it's part of our belief. The Christian believe that disciples were able to raise dead because Jesus gave them the power to do so.
Okay.
So we don't find it as contradiction.
But how we don't find a contradiction when Jesus said, okay, let me ask you a simple question.
Yeah.
When Jesus said the only true God is the Father, is that true or false?
Say that again.
When Jesus said the only true God is the Father, is that true or false?
I believe it's true.
It's true. Is Jesus the Father?
No.
So Jesus is not God, because according to Jesus, the only true God is the Father.
So wouldn't you accept? I know you are Muslim, so you wouldn't accept that. But what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
wouldn't you see it from the Christian theology that because Jesus Christ is man and God, if he says in his manly nature, like you would say Allah is the true God, isn't
Correct.
it? Because you are a man.
Okay.
You are saying it from your manly Shamsi standing
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I would say the same thing. God is the only true God.
No, not God, the Father.
The Father is the only true God.
Yeah.
So the Christian says that Jesus was saying it from his man, the human, the 100% human point of view.
Yeah. Okay.
That is
understood.
why you were saying
But as a God, understand that. But what I'm saying Jesus as God is not the Father. So if Jesus said the only true God is the Father, what happened to his God nature? Why is negating for his God nature to be God? Even though you have to understand these two nature, Jesus never said it, that he was God and the man same time.
No.
Okay, but I have to go. The brother is telling me I have to go.
Okay.
Otherwise, I will
Very
carry
nice.
on.
Nice talking to you. So
Would you be
we
happy
will-
to take my number?
Yes.
Speak
I
on
don't mind.
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Because I really like you the way you approach me, and you're very respectful. Even if I'm Algerian, very angry people. Lah.
I know. I will take you.
That was the one doubt you had, yeah?
That was the one doubt he had in believing in Islam.
Yeah.
Let him think, brother. Yeah. Take my number.
Shamsi, yeah?
Yeah, Shamsi, brother.
C.
Yeah,
It will come.
yeah.
Don't worry about
You
it.
took it dial.
Let me take your number first.
079 888. Yeah, I thought 888.
Take off the microphones,
Take it first.
Yeah, brother, because last time,
The whole
you know what happened to me? Last time they left the number, I woke up.